Let's bow for a word of prayer. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of the leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider what matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest we have committed to our church. Amen. Honourable members, you may be seated. Kindly, clerk, confirm whether we have the quorum to allow the House conduct its business. Answered office, please. The mic is not audible enough. Clerk, let's proceed.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Can this microphone be corrected before we proceed? Sergeant Atam, please. Good afternoon, honorable members. Honorable members have got a communication to relay to the Assembly this afternoon. But before then, allow me to acknowledge the presence within the precincts of the Assembly and at the Speaker's Gallery. Today, we are blessed to host the good citizens of this county, the residents who happens to have been affected by the ongoing evictions. And for that reason, I may request them to be upstanding and wave to the Honorable House. Honorable members, these are the residents of Nairobi County. I hope they are not imposters. They are good citizens of this republic. Let me extend my warm welcoming message to you as your Speaker of Nairobi and guarantee you utmost peace and privilege and pleasure to be at the Speaker's Gallery. Feel most welcome. Thank you. Honorable members, on the special motion, the conduct of the one Miss Lydia Madai, Chief Officer for Housing and Urban Renewal. Honorable members, you may recall that pursuant to Standing Order 52, on Thursday, 19th June 2025, the Honorable Chege Maura, MCA, gave a notice of special motion inviting the Assembly to discuss the conduct of the Chief Officer responsible for Housing and Urban Renewal, Ms. Lydia Madhia. Honorable members, Standing Order 52.2 provides that a notice for special motion shall be disposed of by the Speaker within the 7 days of receipt of the notice from a member and given by the member within 3 sitting days following the approval by the Speaker. May I bring to the attention of the Assembly that the foregoing provisions that has fully been complied with, having received and approved the notice of Thursday, 19th June 2025. The notice was similarly given on the same day. Further, Standing Order 52.2b requires that a motion of this nature be disposed of within 3 sitting days. Therefore, honorable members, this means that the Assembly should make its decision on the motion within 3 sitting days. Time for moving a special motion, honorable members. Standing Order 52.2 provides that, and I quote, "Save for a special motion, a member who has a motion standing in his or her name may authorize in writing another member to move that motion in the member's stead." The import of this provision, honorable members, is that the member who sponsors and gives notice of special motion shall be the one to move the motion. This role cannot be delegated to another member, Accordingly, this afternoon, I will be inviting Honorable Chege Mwaura, the sponsor of the motion, to move the said motion. And by way of confirmation, the Honorable Chege Mwaura, member for Ngara, should, by standing on his feet, confirm if indeed he is the said member, sworn in the assembly as the member for Ngara and responsible for the motion before the assembly. Honorable Chege Mwaura. Honorable members, Standing Order 58.2 provides that a notice of a special motion may only be withdrawn with the leave of the assembly. The leave of the assembly, I mean it is by the whole assembly. That is the only organ mandated with any form of consideration to withdraw the said motion before the assembly. Honourable members, this motion is properly before the county assembly. This is a property of the assembly. At this point of its execution, therefore, a decision to invite the assembly not to proceed with it by way of withdrawal rests with a vote from the assembly itself. Honourable members, instances where the law provides for a fixed majority. Honourable members, Standing Order 53.1 provides that in every instance where the law provides that a fixed number of members is necessary to support the motion moving of or to decide any question on a motion, any amendment motion to such motion shall not be passed unless supported by the fixed number of members required to pass the original motion. Honourable members, I have perused and read the Assembly standing orders, and a special motion of this nature does not fall within the category of special motions that seek removal from office through impeachment. Therefore, the motion shall be decided upon by a simple majority. Honourable members, you are so guided. Thank you.
Order number 3, motion.
Sergeant Atam, kindly find out what's happening with the Hansard office.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The leader of Honorable Majority.
Honorable Speaker and the Honorable House, allow me also to welcome the residents' representatives before this House. Honorable Speaker, before I lay the papers,
Honorable Majority, please, can you just hold on a bit in order for this Hansard office to fix the mess? We can't proceed like this. Check 1, 2. Testing, testing. Majority ametoka nje. Enda ukae. Honorable members, Honorable Majority, kindly proceed and take your seat. Honorable members, there was a bit of interference. No. There are certain videos which were provided by Honorable Chege Maura for the assembly during his time of presentation. That is what actually interfered with our system. But now we are good to go. So kindly, Honorable Majority Leader, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to apologize sincerely for that hiccup on behalf of the move of the motion, which might construed otherwise from administration. But I'll say the Speaker said what has happened. Honorable Speaker, thank you for the clarification. Allow me to start with a simple 30-second statements based on our elected leaders meeting yesterday, Speaker. I want to report to this House that the honorable elected members of this House, more than 70 of them, yesterday had a very robust...
Honorable Majority Leader, can I give you an opportunity at
statement
the sequence order paper during time of the
this
statement?
One is very important. Attached to...
Thank you.
This is the day the Lord has made. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to table before this Honorable House a supplementary budget pursuant to Section 135 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Standing Order 234. I beg to lay the following papers on the table of this Assembly today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025. That's why my statement was preceding this, but Honorable Speaker, on your guidance, I beg to be guided and ask you to submit this before the Committee of Budget Appropriation Committee. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, the Nairobi City County Supplementary 2 Expenditure and Revenue Estimates for financial year 2024-2025, as laid by the Leader of Majority before the Assembly, is now committed to the Budget Appropriation and Committee for consideration. Kindly proceed. We have the report of the Secretary Committee on Water Sanitation on the 4th quarter workshop held on 27th to 30th June 2025. The Chairperson Secretary Committee on Water, kindly proceed and lay the report of the committee. Chairman, do you have your card?
Yes, I do.
Your mic is on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 196, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of this Assembly today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025. The report of the Secretary Committee on Water and Sanitation on the 4th shorter workshop. I had two reports, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, again, pursuant to Standing Order 196, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of this Assembly today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025. The report of the Sectoral Committee on Water and Sanitation on the fourth quarter workshop held from 16th to 19th June 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The two reports now goes to the House Business Committee for allocation of business. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements.
Honorable Redson Onyango, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Kindly proceed.
On Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 47-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of Sectoral Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs regarding a deeply alarming incident involving a county staff who reportedly fell from an upper floor of City Hall Annex under unclear but troubling circumstances. On Speaker, it has been alleged that the staff member was being chased by colleagues prior to the fall. If true, this points to possible harassment, intimidation, or a serious breach of workplace safety protocols. On Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 under Article 41 guarantees every worker the right to fair labor practices, including the right to a safe and healthy working environment and freedom from inhuman treatment. These rights are... Relax. Yes.
Order,
Yes.
honorable members. The member is supposed to be heard in silence.
Exactly. These rights are further safeguarded under the Occupational Safety and Health Act 2007, the Employment Act 2007, and the Work Injury Benefits Act 2007, which place a legal duty on all employers, including county governments, to protect employees from harm and ensure their welfare. On Speaker, in light of this, the chairperson should inquire into and report on 1. A clear and factual account of the events leading to the fall, including the identity and current condition of the affected staff member, and whether allegations of pursuit of or workplace conflicts are being investigated. 2, the actions taken immediately after the incident by county security and emergency services and the availability and adequacy of safety and emergency protocols within City Hall Annex. 3, the status of ongoing investigation, including involvement by law enforcement, the County Public Service Board, and the Directorate of Human Resource, and whether any individuals have been subjected to disciplinary procedures. 4, the county executive plans to prevent similar incidents in future, including mental health and counseling services, internal grievance and mechanism and initiative to foster a safer workplace free from harassment from any kind.
The statement as requested directed to the JLAC. Kindly Chair give undertaking on what period of time you'd want
Thank you.
response.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. A very unfortunate situation. 2 weeks would be appropriate for us to report back to this House, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Redson, is that okay with you?
It's okay, Honorable Speaker.
The leader of majority had actually indicated that he got some remarks and communication to relay and share with the members. Kindly take the floor.
Honorable Speaker, just for 1 minute, allow me to report back to the Assembly that yesterday at 2 p.m. we had a very robust discussion with all elected leaders of this House. And I am happy to report is as a result of that, you can see almost 90% of all elected leaders are here. Honorable Speaker, we discussed the importance of Ward Development Fund to our institution as wards, with the officers present, and we agreed, Honorable Speaker, at the end of the day, more than 22 wards had not been secured in terms of development agenda. Honorable Speaker, the preliminary report I have so far, they have confirmed in totality from 2022 to date, about 12 wards has never received any payment. And the remaining 8 wards, Honorable Speaker, unfortunately, the then CEO of Ward Development Fund had used these specific wards to pay her own cronies. Honorable Speaker, we agreed yesterday that, Honorable Speaker, this report that was read before all elected leaders will be tabled before the Ward Development Committee. While on recess, Honorable Speaker, would wish you to give permission, because we'll be going for recess on 4th for 2 weeks, that you give permission this Ward Development Committee to give us an authentic, clarified reasons as to why these specific wards were neglected from the payment of Ward Development Fund. Honorable Speaker, again, what we agreed yesterday, they were forming a policy upon which first come, first serve. Honorable Speaker, so that all these wards, they are distributively well developed in terms of funding for Ward Development Fund. Honorable Speaker, also to report to this House that elected leaders of this House affirmatively, Honorable Speaker, I agreed, which was concurred by the Chair of Budget Appropriation present here, that the issue of Green Army is no longer a contractual issue. That all the Green Army officers, as you await the Budget Committee commits through the chair present that we are going to convert these young men who are suffering on trenches onto a PNP. Honorable Speaker, lastly, the honorable elected leaders affirmed authoritatively that this House, from today in the next few minutes, will not be a house of pinky ponky. It will be a house when we say yes.
Kindly, Honorable Majority Leader, be kind with your words. Ping pong is not a parliamentary. Can you have parliamentary language to replace that?
Honorable Speaker, during the Supreme Court hearing, it was even in the judgment admitted. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, the word ping pong is a word equivalent to the joking arena. Let me replace by the word saying, this is not a house of Aki and Popo. So, Honorable Speaker, the resolve by the elected leaders, jokes aside, that you are going to give a sense of direction to the county. It does not matter who, how you came to this county. As my friend says, wewe utaambiwa, lakini sisi kama wabunge wa Nairobi tutaamua. So, Speaker, the third thing that we agreed as a honorable House, that the issue of bursary cannot be negotiated by anyone. And we gave directives as elected leaders of this House, the CC for Finance, One Kirich, to go and formulate a policy and adopt it as other counties have done. That as we pass the budget this week, the Budget Committee affirmed, and thank you the budget members, while in Naivasha you affirmed without what bursaries, you will not be part of that budget. We agree with you and we support you as elected leaders, as entire House, that bursaries cannot be negotiated because that's the life of our people. Honorable Speaker, on that note, anyone who does not come up with policy the way Morang has done, Kiambu has done, Elgeyo Marakwet has done, that policy maker will be held responsible before this red carpet. Honorable Speaker, lastly we agreed that on Thursday at 10, we'll be having a chair's leadership meeting to affirm the operations within the committees. As you're aware, Honorable Speaker, our whips are working on something in terms of committees, but we want to get concurrence also from our chairs. Therefore, on Thursday, we'll have a meeting for chairs before the chair of budget committee reads the budget before this house. Thereafter, we'll be having a meeting of all special elects. So we also get to know, why should we not move as a unit? We are not leaving anyone behind because we all constitute this house. Honorable Speaker, I want to report that to your Honorable Chair and the entire House. But formatively, Honorable Speaker, we are prepared than before. On 9th of September, will be exactly 3 years since you are sworn in here. But going forward, amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Majority Leader. Maybe if the House could get some concurrence, if not clarification from the Chair of the Budget Committee. Honorable Alai, you are out of order. We don't have a room for debate on just remarks. I've given the floor to the Chair of the Budget Committee. I'll give you an opportunity, Honorable Alai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I fully concur with what Majority Leader said. My only request and plea that members kindly forward the roads which were actually omitted during the supplementary one, so that we can fix them. I've only received less than a quarter. So kindly do favor to the Budget Committee. We are on the final stretch of making our document. I fully concur with what Majority Leader said.
Honorable Alai. Yeah, I've given him time.
Honorable Speaker.
You are rising on a point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I think is order number. I think is order number.
Can I give you
order number 87, Honorable Speaker?
Can I give you 1 minute?
No, Honorable 87, Honorable Speaker.
87.
Yes, and I think that a member must be very responsible for the accuracy of whatever is presenting in the House. And Honorable Speaker, combined with order number 87-2, no allegations against the House or its committee is allowed unless via a properly filed, unless I'm on a point of order, so the member should be properly guided that a point of order should not be challenged.
Honorable Alai, one, you are out of order. I don't know whether you share the same 4th edition of our standing order.
We have not been supplied with the 4th edition. What I have is
the third edition of our standing order, under over number 87, which you have just quoted. You may be seated. The speaker is on the floor. 2 or more members requesting to speak. So in this case, you are only a member. So, Honorable Alai, you are out of order.
Honorable
Clerk,
Speaker,
kindly let's proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I think I'm being sabotaged.
Order number 8, special motion to discuss the conduct and censure of Ms. Lydia Mathia, Chief Officer Housing and Urban Renewal, Nairobi City County.
Honorable Chege Maura.
Mr. Speaker, and the whole House, I want to thank you so much for this opportunity to move this special motion. Mr. Speaker, when we put a notice of motion, you were very clear that the mover of the motion, Mr. Speaker, should table evidentially evidence to show whatever allegations they had have merit. Mr. Speaker, through your guidance, I have my bundle of documents as I shared with the office, and with your guidance, I would request that they be passed to members so that we can take them through the allegations that we have by every single step, just the same way as you had requested. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay...
Kindly, table clerk, receive the documents and kindly verify whether they are in the true make sure you verify whether they are the true correspondences as forwarded to your offices before you distribute to the members. Honourable members, indeed, it has been confirmed and verified by the table clerks that the annexes as provided by the mover of the motion in regard to the censure motion before the Assembly are indeed accurate and reflect the true position. For that, I direct the Sergeant at Arms to distribute as the mover of the motion to proceed with his motion.
Mr. Speaker, as the clerks distribute, and maybe they try and I've balanced them because I did not have all the finances to do for every member. Maybe 2 members can share each. Mr. Speaker, I want also to take us through, before I start the special motion, that the annexures are labeled A up to J, and we will go through as I will be making my presentation as per the tabled documents. And the ones that will need video evidence or audio evidence, I have made arrangements with your Hansard team to be ready to proceed as and when we get there.
Honourable Chege, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move the motion to discuss the conduct and censure motion of the Madam Lydia Mathia, the Chief Officer Housing and Urban Renewal in Nairobi City County. Whereas Chapter 6 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and the Public Officers Ethics Act 2003 provide for primarily the conduct of state and public officers and the accountable exercise of power and responsibility assigned to state and public officers. Whereas Article 10 of the Constitution, as read together with Section 3 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, provide for respect of the rule of law, good governance, accountability, transparency, state and on public officers for decisions and actions as key guiding principles of leadership. Further aware, Section 45 of the County Governments Act 2012 provide that the county chief officer is appointed by the governor with the approval of this county assembly, and such an officer serves as the authorized officer in respect to delegated power in the county department. The said Ms. Lydia Mathia, initially appointed by the governor, as the county chief officer responsible of public participation, citizens engagement and customer service subsector, upon being vetted and subsequently approved by this county assembly. And whereas the office of the county chief officer is an office in the county public service and is subject to the provisions of the Constitution of Kenya, the County Governments Act 2012, Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, Public Office Officer Ethics Act 2003, including adherence to the principle of public service, rule of law, and respect for human rights and dignity, acknowledging that Section 59 of the County Governments Act vests County Public Service Board with the authority to discipline, remove individuals holding or acting in public offices within the county public services. Cognizant that Ms. Lydia Mathia is the current serving officer as the Chief Officer in charge of Housing, Urban Renewal, and in Nairobi City County, deeply concerned that Ms. Lydia Mathia, in her capacity as Chief Officer, Housing and Urban Renewal, orchestrated and oversaw evictions of residents from county-owned houses located in Old Ngara, New Ngara, Kariakoo, Buruburu, Kariobangi, Woodley, and other county estates on the basis of alleged rent arrears. Further concerned that the said evictions process was conducted in a cruel, dehumanizing, degrading manner in violation of the residents' constitutional rights to human dignity, security, housing, and property, and put the lives and safety of the affected individuals and the wider estate community at risk, noting that on the 6th of May 2025, the county government served demand notices to various residents within the said estates demanding substantial amounts of money, alleged rent arrears, without providing a breakdown of specific months or years which the arrears were accrued. Recognizing that the said demand notices were in complete violation of Gazette Notice 2728, dated 19th of March 2021, in which the Nairobi City County Government had issued a permanent waiver of house rent arrears accrued up to 30th of April 2019 and directed that tenants pay rent only from the 1st of May 2019 going forward. Alarmed that despite the residents complying and initiating payment of post-waiver rent arrears and notwithstanding the existence of a conservatory order issued by the Environment and Land Court, petition number ELCL PET/E038/2025 on 30th of May 2025, stating any evictions pending hearing and determination of the petition, Ms. Mathia nonetheless proceeded to deploy unknown and unauthorized individuals to enforce evictions, noting with grave concern, Mr. Speaker, that the said individuals acting under Ms. Mathia's instructions forced, looted, vandalized private and public property, and caused physical harm and psychological trauma to innocent residents. Further noting that the evictions violated Section 152G of the Lands Act, which mandates eviction processes must be carried in a manner that respects the dignity, right to life, and security of those affected. Deeply disturbed that despite the existence of an honorable court's conservatory order, and the tenants demonstrated in good faith by evidence of many having paid disputed rents amounts, as demanded in the unlawful notices of sheer desperation, all attempts by the tenants to regain access to their county houses have been deliberately obstructed at the direction of Ms. Lydia Mathia, who continues to frustrate and block the resumption of tenants and thereby aggravating the suffering and compounding of their violation of rights, aware that Ms. Mathia's act and omissions constitute to gross misconduct, dereliction of duty, willful disobedience of a court order, contrary to Article 10(2)(a), Article 73(1)(a) of the Constitution of Kenya, abuse of office in breach of Section 11 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012 and Section 8 of the Public Officers Ethics Act 2003, and her conduct unbecoming of a public officer, and in clear violation of principles of public service as outlined in Article 232 of the Constitution. Further aware that her conduct demonstrates a lack of respect for the rule of law, acts of impunity, and deliberate marginalization of vulnerable citizens under her public care and mandate. Now, therefore, this Assembly resolves to do, number 1, censure Ms. Lydia Mathia for gross misconduct, abuse of office, violation of human rights, and violation of a court order. 2, declare that Ms. Mathia is unfit to hold public office within Nairobi City County Government or any other public office. 3, that this Assembly directs that the Nairobi City County Assembly and its committees shall not transact any business with Ms. Lydia Mathia in her current capacity as or any other public capacity. Number 4, recommend that the Nairobi City County Public Service Board immediately commences disciplinary proceedings against Ms. Lydia Mathia with a view of a removal from office. 5, urge the Governor of Nairobi City County, being the appointing authority, pursuant to Section 45(5) of the County Governments Act 2012, to immediately reassign Ms. Lydia Mathia from the position of Chief Officer Housing, Public Urban Renewal, pending the conclusion of disciplinary process. 6, condemn in the strongest terms the unlawful eviction of the residents of Old Ngara, New Ngara, Kariako, Buruburu, Kariobangi, Woodley, and every other county estates, and calls for immediate investigations into the destruction of loss of property resulting to Ms. Mathia's directives. And 7, recognize the rights of the affected residents to seek justice and support the enforcement of the court orders, conservatory orders to prevent further violation of the rights, pending hearing and determination of the residents' petition number ELC-LPET/E038/2025 by the court. Mr. Speaker, allow me from the very onset to thank you for putting me to task to be able to table substantial evidence, which I want to thank my team from the office for helping me put it up. But then again, I also want to thank very many members of this House who, in their own wisdom, thought it was important to send me some clips that help me put this thing together. Mr. Speaker, I do not also want to take it for granted that as I rise here, I just don't rise here as the only member that could be affected. There are many other members who have helped us get here. I want to, without any particular order, recognize the Honorable Peter Imwatok, who has very many county estates, I think 5 in his area, has been very, very instrumental to this. Or the Honorable Paul Ndungu, aka Petit, has also like 5 estates to this. The Honorable Hashim Kamau, he represents California and Kinabondeni. The Honorable Peter Owera with Huruma Flats. The Honorable General Mukuru, aka Mrefu from Kariako Estates. The Honorable DNG Gibuini from Woodley. The Honorable Mbatia Robert, who has Uhuru and Kariobangi South, the Honorable Waithera Shege, Mariakani, the Honorable Patrick Daktari with Bahati, the Honorable Kimemia, aka Soni with Buruburu, the Honorable, the late Joel Munuve with Kariobangi, the Honorable Ricardo Nyantika with the Nyayo Village, and also my good neighbor, the Honorable Peter Wahinya. Mr. Speaker, these members and other members who felt it was important to jointly have this discussion collectively did all they could in trying to help me put these pieces together. And today I am here looking like the striker, but really the glory needs to go to them. Mr. Speaker, I cannot also fail to mention the planning committee that has also had very serious concerns with the said chief officer, and they also raised their concerns. Lastly, when we are having the speakers, the leadership Kamukunji, the members also wanted to know, and they've been really, really following up this matter. And so I want to thank all the members without any particular order, and also the leadership in helping us get to where we are. Mr. Speaker, as I start off, Mr. Speaker, is that it's important to put some small disclaimers. Number one, that I am not a malicious person, and I'm not here to put any officer in disrepute. But Mr. Speaker, it's a long time since this house was this full and your gallery was that full. Mr. Speaker, that gallery is the one that has made some of us be here. And Mr. Speaker, if you see without any mobilization that we've even had to stop others from getting in, we just had to get the representatives of these estates, and I thank you for giving them that leeway. Mr. Speaker, this is a process that has been very, very, very painful to some of us, because we've seen the suffering and the problem that they've been having getting us there. Mr. Speaker, I want to start by saying, as somebody who's grown up in these estates.
As you start, you maybe, Honorable Chege, you can move to the, these are the mic.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is it okay? Oh, geez. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, again for giving us this opportunity to get here. Mr. Speaker, as I lay the foundation of what I want to say, and I know you've been in this city hall for over 20 years. Mr. Speaker, the days of the famed John Gakuo, when he wanted to make his move to make collections in Nairobi, he used to have conversations with the councillors then, and he would inform you that I want to get rent arrears from these estates. And so please do not stand on my way. I will be humane, and no one is going to lose their house. You are my witness. I have seen Akina Majiwa, Kina Hashim can attest to that. And the ones who we've grew in the city, we knew it never happened. Mr. Speaker, even the days of Joe Akech and our very own Geoffrey Majiwa, George Aladwa, never did we get to a point where people were losing their houses on the account on reconciliation of rental affairs. Mr. Speaker, when we moved to the county government, which I was privileged to serve with you, the Governor Kidero, tough manager, we never got there. The Honorable Mike Mbuvi Sonko, we never got there. Our very own Bernard Mutura, who was the Speaker and Acting Governor, we never got there. The Honorable Ann Kananu, we never got there. And even the Jemedari himself, who was collecting rent through KRA, he never got us this low. Mr. Speaker, as we approach the annexures that I'm going to table here before you, the chronology of events will be shocking to you. That as I start, the question in place is number one, where is the role of a gazette notice? The gazette notice that even gives us the mandate to serve Nairobians. Number two, if you have a figure and the county has a different figure, where is the role of reconciling these figures before you move to evictions? Number three, even when you are doing the evictions, where was the procedure done? Number four, when you do reallocations, was it done in a regular, open way? If we answer those four questions, then, Mr. Speaker, you will be able to judge if this is a witch hunt or, as my colleague said, hot air, but you'll be able to judge by yourselves. Mr. Speaker, I want now to move to the few allegations that we have by way of annexures. On the 6th of May, there was a demand notice. Annexure A gives those sample notices that were given to the estates. And if you look at the first 5 pages, gives you a sample of those notices, demand notices. Mr. Speaker, on the 11th of May, I had a session with the residents of Ngara, and they asked me to intervene on their behalf. I tabled letter dated 12th of May, just under Annexure A, Annexures A, a letter to the CEC, Built Environment and Urban Renewal, Urban Planning, Nairobi City County, requesting to halt demand notices given to the residents of Old Ngara and New Ngara. And I read, the following are the demand notices.
Honorable Chege?
Yes.
The members have got the copies, so you can just do the highlight of the
granted. Mr. Speaker, what I was doing, if I just highlight one paragraph, it is for this reason I seek audience with your esteemed office at your earliest convenience to discuss this matter and hopefully arrive at an amicable solution, as this has caused a lot of panic and anxiety. Mr. Speaker, since the 12th of May, you can see the stamps that has been received. The top stamp there is the county. I have the MP stamp, the senator's stamp, and even the county commissioner. To date, I have never been called. My letter has never been responded to. What the Waziri asked me is that this process is being handled by this chief officer. Why don't we have a conversation? And that was on phone. We had a conversation and we agreed, can we meet on 13th? It's on the same 13th that evictions were being done at 7 a.m. in the morning. So, Mr. Speaker, if as an elected leader you cannot intervene by way of a letter, then I don't know how well to be able to intervene for your own members. Mr. Speaker, I table Annexure A. Annexure B, the Gazette notice dated 19th of March 2021. If you look at the left side down there, you'll see Gazette notice 2728. Nairobi City County Tax Waivers Administration Act of 2013, Finance and Economic Planning, waivers of house rent arrears. It has been dated, you can see it there, and the Honorable A.E. Igambi, who was the CEC Finance at that time. I tabled that as well, and you can see there was actually a valid Gazette notice. As I move to the next one, still under Annexure B, you can see that there was an extension of a waiver on rent payable to the Nairobi City County government, and this is dated 25th of October 2020, where if I read a paragraph, that pursuant to my earlier waiver, via Cabinet Memo number 8 of 2019, titled Waiver to Rent Arrears owed to tenants of Nairobi City County houses, approved by a full cabinet meeting held on 30th April 2019, and guided by the provisions of Article 174 and 187, I do hereby extend the waivers earlier granted for further a period of 6 months from the date of the letter of the residents to recover economically from the effects of COVID-19, signed by His Excellency Mike Mbuvi Sonko. Mr. Speaker, I move to Annexure number C. Annexure number C, this is the court case that I had tabled, and the citation there is Chege Moura, Raymond Tonui, and 2 others versus the Built Environment CEC. And the 2 others I need to mention is the CCM Finance Kerich and Chief Officer Lydia Mathia. Mr. Speaker, if I take members through number 3, that the matter was to be heard on 9th of June 2025, and that pending the hearing and application of inter-party conservatory orders do hereby are staying the eviction of a residents of Olngara, Nyungara, and Kariako due to alleged rent arrears given by the Honorable Justice Mohammed Kulo. Mr. Speaker, when we went to court on 9th of June, it's important to know how county loses cases because the county did not show up. And so the judge extended the orders. And these orders were extended, number 3, and given under my hand the honorable, of this honorable court on 9th of June 2025. But this time round, the good judge was able to put a penal notice. A penal notice that says, take notice that any disobedience or observance of the order of court served herewith will result in a penal consequences to you or any other person disobeying and not observing the same. Signed by the same judge, the Honorable Justice Mohammed Kulo. So, Mr. Speaker, when we now got to the second wave of evictions, they were in clear breach of court order. Mr. Speaker, I move to a court case by the residents of Woodley, Samson Gachango, who is the chairman against Nairobi City County. His first order was given on 8th of May, 2025. They are still again never showed up. On 4th of June, it was extended to October 2nd, 2025, and then again a penal notice was given. So maybe if you think the first judge was wrong, then this one was signed by Lady Justice Judy Omange. Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit. Annexure number D. Mr. Speaker, when these residents were looking for the chief officer, she was not only rude to them, but she showed them a zeal that it is her business to kick them out. And so I will request your Hansard team to put an audio of evidence of the voice of Lydia Mathia talking to residents in her office. I request that this annexure number D audio evidence be played, Mr. Speaker.
Is the Hansard office ready?
Wewe unatoka kwa nyumba, nilete mtu mwenye kanilipa. Niko na wafanyikazi wengi wanatokanga Syokimau na nawataka kwa ofisi saa 2. So nikapata kwa nyumba hapa niweze kupatia director wangu mmoja ama wawili. Hata mimi naweza furahia. So mimi hata kutoa mtu kwa nyumba ninafurahia. Sio kitu ya kujipea ghadhabu. Ni kitu yenye mimi na look forward kutoa mtu.
Mr. Speaker, I think you heard. Ni furaha yangu kutoa mtu kwa nyumba. Evidence has been captured. Annexure number F. Mr. Speaker, annexure number E talks about police reports of residents who lost some of their wares. I table it, I will not go through it for purposes of time. Mr. Speaker, annexure number F is interesting. Mr. Speaker, it starts for purposes of direction. You look at Japheth Wambua. Japheth Wambua has a house in H57 Nyungara Estate. Mr. Speaker, this person was given a rent arrears, went ahead and made payments. You can see the receipts of those payments. But what was interesting is that the process was you are supposed to go to the chief revenue officer, who is Tyrus Njoroge. And still, if you peruse the receipts, you will see the chief officer doing a memo, written revenue administration to the county chief officer, housing and urban development. The reference is a confirmation of payment of Nyungara Estate House number 57. This is to confirm that the owner of the said house has paid 620,000